Hello and welcome again to Mxyzptlk. Today I will be covering Emperor Joker. Now, Emperor Joker is basically what happens when Joker becomes a god. Okay, let's just start from the very beginning. Joker is one of the best villains ever written in comic book history. He was actually made to be the perfect counterpart of Batman, kind of like order and chaos or the yin and yang. But the real reason why Joker is terrifying is because he is insane. He has no humanity at all. He is unpredictable and most importantly, he has no specific origin. I mean, of course, there have been stories regarding his origin, like in Batman the Killing Joke, where we saw a failed comedian become the Joker. Then again, in Mask of the Phantasm, we learned that Joker was another member of the mafia crime families of Gotham. You see, the thing is, even Joker himself is not sure of his origin. He has literally said that if he even has a past, he prefers it to be multiple choice. So imagine a man with no fear, no limits, and no past. Now that is a dangerous combination. As a matter of fact, it turns out that there is not one Joker but three, maybe even more. But one thing that has always been the same is that Joker is a human being, a dangerous homicidal maniac, but still a human being. Well, in the Emperor Joker storyline, something really interesting happened. The story actually begins with Mr. Mxyzptlk. Now, for those of you who do not know, Mr. Mxyzptlk is a classic Superman villain. Well, not a villain exactly, but a character. He is a fifth-dimensional imp. Now, what does that mean? You see, a line is one dimension, a page or a flat rectangle is two dimension, a cube is three-dimensional, and basically everything that we humans see and experience are three-dimensional. So we are three-dimensional beings. Now think of a being who exists in even higher dimensions, which means that that guy exists beyond what we can understand. Now, to us, a two-dimensional being might look like a drawing on a piece of paper. Frankly, we might not even consider them to be alive. So imagine what we must look like to Mr. Mxyzptlk. To him, the very laws of physics and nature that rules us is fluid. He has absolute control over our reality and he can do pretty much anything. He can manipulate time, he can manipulate space, he can get out of the comics and punch the writers if he wants to. Now, this is the kind of being Mr. Mxyzptlk is. He is just so far above us that he can play with our reality as easily as a kid plays with toys. Humans as a species mean absolutely nothing to him. He is above our concepts of right and wrong. Now, frankly, being all-powerful is boring. Just ask Saitama. You are left with no challenges, no thrills, no suspense. So this Mr. Mxyzptlk, he just comes in our reality and bugs Superman, creates all sorts of problems for him, and this game that he plays has only one rule, that Superman has to make him say his name backwards, and then he will just leave for a time because he will again come back and play this game all over again. While to us, every time he does that, he essentially changes reality. But to him, it's a game. But then the obvious thing happened. He wanted to do something different. So this time, he decided to give 1% of his power to the Joker and see what happens. But what happened was catastrophic. Mxyzptlk gave Joker 1% of his power, and now with the power of Mxyzptlk, he tricked him into saying his real name. Now, it's a rule that whenever a fifth dimensional imp tells someone their full name, they essentially have to give that guy 99% of their powers. I know it's a weird rule, but fifth dimensional beings are not really bound by any laws. So they basically have to, create these laws by themselves to keep things interesting. But this time it backfired. Joker right now possessed 99% of the insane powers of Mr. Mxyzptlk, and Mxyzptlk is left with 1% of his own power. The result? Emperor Joker. Joker literally recreated the whole universe in his image. He made reality a kind of circular comic book story. In his reality, Superman is a prisoner in Arkham Asylum, and he kind of breaks out of his cell, and then Commissioner Grundy calls the Justice League for help. And Bizarro, who is the leader of this Justice League, just comes in and defeats Superman, puts him back in jail, and saves the day. Now this happens again the next day, and again and again. In this reality, there is also an Aquaman who is basically a fish and a human hybrid who cannot even touch the water. And then there is a Fat Flash who is the fastest fat man alive. There is a Green Lantern who is basically a human lantern. It's just a crazy world. Joker even has his ideal version of Harley Quinn who is, totally committed to him. And then there is his court clown and advisor Lex Luthor. But in his world, his greatest game is with Batman. He has made reality in such a way that every day he tortures and kills Batman, and then Batman will just come back to life with all the damage and the pain from his previous death, and the Joker will kill him again. Now, as you can probably understand by now, Joker became one of the greatest cosmic threats. Although he basically was a human, he had gotten used to these godly powers very fast and has already renovated almost the entire space-time. But the most shocking thing that he did was taking over the Quintessence. Now, the Quintessence is a group of gods. Well, not just any gods, but the greatest of them, the Sky Fathers, the ruler gods, the all-knowing, all-powerful, omnipotent gods. This group had members like Zeus, Highfather, Shazam, Ganthet, the Phantom Stranger, etc. Now, these cosmic deities were called by Darkseid. He basically called this meeting of gods to join forces. You see, Darkseid came to know of this mortal named Joker who has now gained enormous cosmic power and possibly even the anti-life equation. Now, I have already done a two-part video on the anti-life equation, and I will give the links in the description box below so you guys can just check it out. But for now, just think of this equation as a weapon that basically makes everyone an extension of you. So like at its best, every being will have only one consciousness, which is the consciousness of the user. Now while Darkseid explained this, suddenly all the gods started to talk like Joker, saying stuff like, "Yo, what's up, D?" So, you see, Joker took over these omnipotent cosmic beings in a matter of seconds. Darkseid was right. Joker even took over the Spectre. Now, the Spectre is a non-corporeal being who represents God's vengeance on Earth. So basically, Spectre answers to the God, and that's it. He has absolutely no weakness, no limits, nothing. I would say that Joker pushed his power way more than Mxyzptlk ever had. And at the end of the day, this is the Joker we are talking about. Mxyzptlk just wanted to have some fun, but Joker is set out to make everything in his image. He literally wanted to say that it's a Joker world and you just live in it. Now, although Superman, Mxyzptlk and the Spectre actually defeated Joker, but it was only because he had not understood his full power yet. And after defeating him, Mxyzptlk and Spectre actually, repaired and remade the entire space-time as it was before. And they did it in a matter of hours. Now, this is kind of the shortened version of what happened, and if you want to know the full story, then be sure to check out the actual comic. It's really great. Now, not many people talk about this, but we were this close to getting an all-powerful, insane, murderous maniac. And honestly, Emperor Joker is easily one of the most OP characters that I have ever seen. Although having godly powers as a human had some serious side effects on Joker. Well, that's it for this video. Be sure to let me know what you thought of this character in the comments below. And subscribe to the channel, that way I can keep making these and you can keep enjoying these. Seriously, I'm not joking, subscribe now. I will see you in the next video and thanks for watching.